This weekend, we got UFC 313 live from Las Vegas. Jump in on all the action with my partners, DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC. Don't be intimidated. It is super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple, like which fighter's going to win. And if you're new to DraftKings, listen up. All new customers who bet just $5 get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. When you sign up, use the promo code SONNEN. Staying on the action, use your $150 in bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays. This will give you a shot at an even bigger payout. You can combine multiple bets together from the same fights. Love the thrill of live betting? DraftKings has got you covered. Bet live on in-progress fights just as they happen, which will make watching the fights even more exciting. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and still have a shot at big cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. New customers, use my promo code SONNEN. Bet just $5 on any wager and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code SONNEN only at DraftKings Sportsbook. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Pulling out of the PI. Was excited when I pulled in because some guys were saying Alex Pereira was upstairs sparring. And that's just a treat, right? If you're a fight fan, and I am, you get a guy in like this natural environment, like a sparring session. It's very interesting, and things are generally different. Guys are different. Techniques that they would be working on as opposed to what they're specifically trying to refine. You watch the top guys fight. You can watch the top guy fight 5 or 6 times, you're going to see 3 to 4 moves. It's going to be the same 3 or 4 moves. And the really elite guys, you're going to see closer to 2 moves. But their repertoire is much, much greater. So I love to see them in an environment like sparring to see what else they can do. We will decide as a community who the most dynamic is, and we will decide as a community who the most well-rounded is. Based on what they show us on nights of competition, we don't actually know how well-rounded a guy is. We just know what he does when the house is on fire and he needs to score, at any rate. Go in and watch Pereira. And everything I was hoping for, I got. So we get in there. You walk upstairs to the PI, the training room's on the 2nd floor, and he's in the ring. So you walk in and there's Pereira, and he's dripping in sweat. He's been in there doing several rounds, and his intensity and contact was what you would expect for fight week in terms of it was lower. He was working some very specific game plans, which a lot had to do with cage control and footwork. But he was still working nonetheless. I mean, he's got a guy coming at him. Got a guy coming at him. He's got a guy throwing punches. He's moving. But it was a really great indicator to the level of cardio that Pereira has. I mean, look, guys, it doesn't matter if you love Pereira or you're rolling with Uncle Ive on this. It doesn't make a bit of difference. We all know the score, which is Uncle Ive has been in the mountains of Dagestan training, and Pereira has been traveling the world being the most famous martial artist there is. There's not like a way around it. We can't pretend that Karate Combat 3 weeks ago when his sister fought that he wasn't there. He was. We can't pretend that when Sean Strickland fought that Pereira wasn't in his corner in Australia. We know that he was. But Pereira made a comment. And his comment was, because he heard that people were questioning him. I think he was even responding to Daniel Cormier specifically. But the comment was, wherever I go, I take my team. I don't have one guy or one coach, or I'm latching on with another team getting workouts. Wherever I go, I take my entire team and I do the entire workout. So wherever the world, that mat space is, the training is the same. This was his belief. And I can just tell you that is what I saw. When I got there, the knowledge that was in that room, Glover Teixeira, who did everything. He was dripping in sweat. I mean, Glover is clearly the captain of that ship, but the knowledge they've got Jon Ribeiro, just to name drop for you. These guys start going back and forth, and they start trading ideas and techniques. So after Pereira gets done with what I believe was 5 rounds, I believe he did all 25 minutes, but I will admit, I walked in a little bit late. So when they were done with that, though, they spent an hour just discussing ideas and fundamentals and positions. And to understand and appreciate, to the degree that I do, what those guys had to go through, what experiences they had to have that information that they were passing back and forth. I mean, think of how many times Jon Ribeiro either had to have his arm broken or he had to break somebody else's arm to learn the ideas that he could come and then just hand to Pereira today. But think about that, even if it's an exaggeration, or think about all the airplanes and all the hotels and all the weight cuts and all the tournaments and entry fees that Glover had to go through, and the trials and tribulations and the blood, sweat, and tears to have the information, the accurate information that he could then come and hand. And it was really an interesting thing. Oh, and by the way, Pereira is quite a technician. When I have seen him on the ground, I have been impressed, and he has protected himself, and that's where it ends. He's not a threat on the ground, but he has protected himself very well. But they keep saying, in practice is where you can see how good he is. In practice is where you can see the skills. In practice, and guys, I saw him in practice, and it's all true. You truly could see the skills and the understanding of positional awareness when he was with these great minds. I mean, it wasn't all Glover and Jon showing him techniques. There was a part where Glover was chiming in and showing how he likes to do things. I mean, he for sure is a black belt. But being a black belt and being a student of the sport are not the same things. Many people, myself included to a degree, were students of the sport while trying to become a black belt. Then you get the Fabiano Scherners of the world, right? You get the guys that never stop. They never stop growing and learning. At a minimum, I must give that compliment to what I witnessed today with Alex Pereira.